proofs, trust, and privacy. Let's welcome Florian from Consensys to the stage to share his.
Thank you very much for welcoming me and giving me the opportunity to speak today. Today, I am going to speak about how ZK proof can be used in the context of like what we do at Consensys. The idea of this talk comes from a different discussion I had where there was some misconception on what brings ZK proof, and I'll try to re-explain and go back to some bases and try to demystify some aspects. So in the case of ZK Rollups, as we have in Linea, we are using the ZK proof to perform the finalization. So we have the blocks that are being produced on the rollup on the layer 2. These blocks are being posted as blobs on the layer 1, and then later there is a ZK proof that is posted to perform the finalization, like to anchor properly the state of the ZK rollup of Linea on the layer 1, so that this state is finalized, is proven, and can be reused and verified by others. In this context of ZK proof, I like to see the generation, like the ZK proof production as a recipe. We have some ingredients. In case of ZK rollups, the ingredients are the blocks we are willing to prove. There is the traces of the execution on the EVM. There is the information like the access list, what was used, read, modified in the state, and extra data like the messages we want to anchor on the layer 1, and whatever else we want to prove. Then this is the input of the recipe. The recipe is a circuit that is written by the cryptographer, and which links all this together with some processing. We end up having a proof. And another product, which we compute only once, is a verifier. So here, maybe most of you, all of you all know this, is just to give some context. So on the layer 1, so we are this finalization that is happening on 2 steps. The first important steps is when we are posting the blocks of the layer 2 as blobs in our case, 2 blocks on the layer 1. So at this point, we make the data available on the layer 1. So from within the state of the layer 1, we can get access to this information. Later, when we have the proof ready, when it has been computed, we are going to post the proof on the layer 1. And at the time we post the proof on the layer 1, we are going to use some commitments on the data that was posted previously, which will be used as input for the proof verification. And then at this time, we have the guarantee that the data that was posted here, that is available now on the layer 1, is indeed the data that has been used per the layer 2 to do the state transition that is described, like that is passed as parameter. So at this point here, we have the proof that the data that we see here has led to this state transition and potentially to the L1, L2 message encoding and L2 message encoding that was added as part of the proof as well. Here, this is important to see that the part of the ZK proof that is used is just the proof part. We don't leverage the use of ZK because anyway, the data is available on L1 and it's available in L1 to allow the others to rebuild the state. So if you follow the L1, you see all this information, you can rebuild the state of the rollup. So there is nothing related to privacy. Now, there was a question before in terms of security. Indeed, here we have a single prover that is run by the rollup with operating the rollup. And this prover can have bugs. And now, generating execution proof, we have more than the ZK proof to do it. We could do it through TE. We could do it by having some clients executing the states and with building a consensus among themselves and with some stake confirming that the transition was correct. So this could be a way to move towards stage 2. Stage 2 as part of the L2-bit framework for the rollups, where they, in order to bring more guarantees to the user, they propose a stage 2 where we can update the prover network only if there is a bug that is proven on chain. So this could be a way if the main prover that we are using has a bug, then we could have a secondary prover that is computing the proof at the same time. And when there is a mismatch, then we could post both of them on the layer one, as this would be a way to detect proof and then do updates. So why TE? Because it's cheap and easy to put in place. So it could be a first stage, and has technology mature, we could ask more prover to run in parallel. So we could have a main prover and then ask 2 out of 3 other provers. And this way we could have increased guarantees, and this could be a way to decentralize prover. So instead of relying only on the rollup team to run the prover, it could be externalized, and we could have some way to get the proof computed by everyone and in the secure way. So this would allow invalid proof and completeness issue. Again, if we make progress on formal verification, as was said in the panel, this could come obsolete, but this is an alternative solution. If we look at the ZK part of the ZK proof here, we don't need to disclose the data. This means that we could change our rollup system slightly, and instead of posting the blobs, like the full data on the layer one, we could just post the commitment to the data of the rollup. In this case, the commitment, if it is binding, which is the case for KZG commitment for blobs, we have the guarantee that the rollup that has produced these blocks knows the information and has a sequence of blocks which triggers this state transition of the proof that we are posting. So if instead of posting the full blocks, we just post the commitment of the blobs, then we end up in the state where we have proven the transition of the rollup on the layer one, but we have disclosed no information. An external user, which is using this blockchain, let's say, would have the guarantee that the execution was proper, but it will also have the guarantee that nobody has access of the information of the activity that is done on this rollup. Then this is a way to add privacy to some private chain, and by adding a control access to the state of the chain. Now this is to compare to another privacy model. So instead here to have the chain private and role-based access to the state of the chain, we could imagine a chain that is completely public and to have some private operation happening on the chain. So this is typically the case of privacy pool like Railgun, Bermuda, Oxbow. Like there is a lot of different solutions to have this. So here, instead of having control access, they would put the private information directly on chain and have operation that leverage ZK proof at this time to operate within this privacy pool. So we have two different models. One that restricts the access and controls the privacy by just making the state not public, and the other one by having the operation within the chain encrypted. This leads me to how I see privacy. I believe that there is two main use cases. One that relates to retail users, people that want to use the chain just for their personal usage, and institutions that want to use the change to settle their business. And in one case, in the retail user, like if I were to use a privacy solution on chain, something that would be very important for me is I have no trust assumption on the solution I'm using. I don't want to put my token in a solution for which, if the operator disappears, then I cannot withdraw the token. So this is the first use case. And then the second use case is for institution, where in this use case, if the institution controls infrastructure that allows to enforce the privacy, they do control it themselves. The trust assumption is not that important. They will provide the infrastructure, so if they need it, they know it will be available. So this is how I see the two categories. And so trustless for retail user, control for institution, and with some enforced requirement on auditability and compliance for both use cases. And finally, in terms of privacy, there is different level of privacy that could be required different based on the different use cases. One which is full anonymity, so you don't want to know who is doing what and the values that are transferred or what is transferred. And maybe a lower level of privacy, which is just confidentiality, where you don't want people to know how much you hold, what you transfer, but you are fine that they know you are doing the activity on the chain. So that's how I currently see the privacy landscape. If there is no questions, thanks everyone for attending.